Hey, how's it going? I've been not doing the Ramblin Hamblins like I've been needing to. Not even needing to, I've just been trying to do them once a week and I've just been failing lately. So I'm driving to work right now in the rain, and I figured, you have all this, it's like 20 minutes to drive to work, 20 minutes back. I got all this free time in the car, why not use it, right? I mean, it's, yay. So today I was going to talk about a question that I get asked quite a bit. Now, I do not make a living in comics. I'm not a professional. I've never done any high-profile work. I've never worked on Spider-Man, Batman. I've never written anything for Image or anything like that. But people ask me a lot on the Facebook page and at conventions, how did you get your start in comics? So I'm going to go first to as a reader. My sisters are 10 years older than me and 11 years older than me. And I got into Power Rangers and Fox Kids, so I loved the 90s X-Men and the 90s Spider-Man cartoons. I felt like the cartoons did not insult my intelligence, as in, if something happened in one episode, it would get acknowledged later. They'd have sometimes 2 and 3 part episodes, and I loved it. And I live in Iowa, and the closest comic book store to me is 45 minutes away. I saw a poster for it at a roller rink, a skating party that they used to have in middle school, and I made my sister drive me because I wasn't old enough to drive at the time, 45 minutes, and then I was hooked. Now, I decided that I wanted to write comics because I used to play with my toys, and I wanted, I don't know, as a kid, it's like, oh, these guys are fighting, this 2 figures. But I always had a story, I used to have them all laid out and be like, these guys are fighting over here, and this guy's trying to get over here so we can help him fight, and blah, blah, blah. And so in middle school, I started writing a bunch of stuff. They're god-awful. I've got them all in a binder. I used to go to, school, and I'd hand them all out to people, the new issue script, and they'd read them, and they'd be like, wow, and they're so bad. But anyways, so I got my first thing published. It was self-published when I was in high school. Basically, I have read almost every one of the how to write comics, how to break into comics kind of thing. And I decided I can't remember how I went to conventions and I asked as many questions as I could. Where do I go to find artists? Where do I do this? I still do that to this day. If I see a professional, I ask them questions. I mean, they are where I want to be. And I'm not saying don't ask the indie guys stuff, because indie guys have a lot of insight on self-publishing and all that. But the pros, I mean, they're where you want to be. And so I paid 2 artists, Kurt Belcher and Scott Twells, who I work with to this day. 2 fantastic guys. I couldn't have worked with better guys starting out. And I self-published my first book. I couldn't figure out a printer online at the time, so I printed them off, stapled it, took it to my local printing place, who, mind you, had never printed a comic book before, and showed them what I wanted, had all the files. I formatted them, and you got to figure out the weird, oh, this is on this page, but there's 4 pages. This isn't making sense to people unless I can't explain it right now. But that's what I did. And then a couple of the stories that were supposed to go in there got published in a magazine and an anthology. And it's not easy, folks. A lot of the places that I've had stories published in aren't around. A magazine that looked to be this big promising thing, they got 1 issue out. That's it. Places that I've got stuff in don't even publish anymore. Some of the places I've had my work in, it kind of sucks because my stuff was really good. Like the art, the other stories were good, but just some of the art was just not that great. But that's just kind of how I got started, and then I just kept going from there, and I mainly self-publish my stuff. I do stuff in anthologies, but I don't know, I self-publish stuff. I put it online, whatever. I feel like I'm rambling now, but if you're wanting to break into comics, or if you want to learn how to write comics, I've read all those books, like I said, and there's 2 of them I would recommend. The first one is Dirk Manning wrote. It's called Right or Wrong, and Write, W-R-I-T-E. And that covers where to find artists, you know, if you're going to pay somebody, how much, how to do a script, how to promote yourself, all this, tons of things. It covers everything, not just the writing aspect, and that's why it's one of my favorites. Dirk is a super awesome guy, super nice. That's one I'd recommend. And the other one, I can't think of what it's called. I just recently read it, and it's kind of the same like Dirk's, and it's by Josh Blaylock, Devil's Due, and it's what the I'll post it in the description, but it covers all that stuff. You know, if anybody has any more questions about this stuff, you know, feel free to comment. If you go to my Facebook page, message me. I'll message you back. I'll answer to the best of my abilities. I'm gonna have more Ramblin Hamblins now because I've been lax, and I'm gonna get my shit together now. Yeah. All right, folks. So I'll see you later.